So I guess we'll start with the big question here, and that's what we're talking about. To the extent that you'll be shepherding this through Congress, there's been a lot of controversy about the order of events here, right, between progressives and moderates. Do you think it is possible to get this larger reconciliation bill done in time to pass bipartisan infrastructure by the end of the month?
I certainly hope so, and that's what we're trying to do. I mean, as we speak, committees of jurisdiction are doing markups on various parts of the reconciliation bill with the expectation to have this ready so we can vote on it by the end of the month. And so I'm hopeful because I think we need to do it. The American people want it. The president has asked for it. The stuff in both bills, the physical and the human infrastructure, are very, very popular. And we need to invest in our country. I mean, we invest everywhere else in the world. We need to invest in our country because we have some real problems here. And that's what these bills represent.
Well, as you join us from the great city of Worcester, I wonder what will be in that bill for communities like your own, Congressman, and even communities like those we discussed along the Gulf Coast. How will spending on infrastructure help this country deal with climate change?
Well, we have aging infrastructure, physical infrastructure in this country, right? I have bridges in Massachusetts that are older than most of the other states in this country. They need to be repaired. They need to be upgraded. Water and sewer systems that are outdated, which, by the way, stifle economic development. We need to also invest in combating climate change. I mean, you see what's happening with these storms and coastal areas that are being flooded and overcome and destroyed. So that's important. The issue of daycare is important. The issue of investments in education are important. Lowering the cost of prescription drugs for people is important. So there's a whole range of stuff that, quite frankly, has been neglected for too long, that has been underinvested in, that we are now beginning to pay attention to at long last and putting some resources forward. So I think we will get them both done. And I think that will be a big win, not just for President Biden, by the way, but for the American people.
What is the biggest hurdle right now when you see these two packages coming through Congress? I know Joe outlined the timeline. September 27th is incredibly fast, but can the Democrats get on board between those centrists and the progressives?
I believe we ultimately will. The Democratic Party is very diverse. If we were in Europe, it would probably be 20 different parties, right? But I do believe that at the end of the day, we're going to get the best deal that we can. It's going to involve some give and take and some compromise. It may not be everything I want, but it will be nonetheless a significant step forward. And people are going to have to make a decision. Is it worth pushing this forward and then fighting for more down the road, or do we walk away? And I think most people believe that we will get to a point where the investment is significant enough, and I say this as a progressive, that we will move this thing forward. I believe that we will be able to work out a deal that our moderates will go along with, and again, that the president will support, and we'll get this done. We have to. It's important. I mean, this is what Joe Biden ran on. This is what Democrats ran on. We ran on investing in our country when, quite frankly, in the past, Congress and the president have been unable to do anything. One of the things I tell people, under the Trump years, we had infrastructure weeks and infrastructure months. There was like press releases. I mean, we are going to have an infrastructure bill with real money, real resources, and it's going to make a difference.